today is 22-year-old Heather Riley. For those of you that don't know her, she's from right here on the East End of Long Island, and since the age of 15, she has been working on the red carpet as not only a host, but a model and an actress. Her story was recently featured in Riverhead Local, and she's here today to talk about her amazing accomplishments, whom at the age of 22, once again, has accomplished so much in the model and acting field. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Heather Riley. Big round of applause for her. Nice to see you, Heather.
Hi,
thank you for being here today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. And you have such a busy schedule. I mean, we've been trying to book you for like, I don't even know how long
a while
already.
Now.
So it's good to have you along with us today.
Thank you, thank you.
And like I mentioned earlier, you are from the East End of Long Island here.
Yes,
Tell us whereabouts you're
I
from.
am actually from Biggie Farms, Martha Claire Vineyards.
Okay.
And been living there my whole life. And then I went to college in Albany, New York, the capital of New York. And I went to the College of St. Rose. And I got my public communications degree, so broadcast, PR, and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been out here my whole entire life, so this is what I know.
So you've always wanted to be in the public eye. You've always loved the broadcasting
Actually, no.
field.
I went to school for to be an ESL teacher, and I always wanted to teach children. I wanted to do elementary. I wanted to do to be a physical education teacher. Stuff like that was fun for me. But then I realized that I really wanted to take modeling more seriously, and then I figured if I was a public communications, I can get into more studio time and learning about different aspects of camera time and stuff like that.
Very interesting.
So, yeah, it was different. So I definitely wanted to move away from education.
Right. So. I mean, take it for somebody who went to school for accounting. Look at what I'm doing now. It's amazing how, we go to school for one thing, but we end up doing something completely different in a 360.
Yeah,
so tell us what your life was growing up, actually, because reading your article that you were in, you actually described yourself as like a tomboy growing up. So little did you know you'd be a model all these years later.
Yes. I mean, my goal in life was to, originally was to be a Olympic softball player. And I played softball my whole life from when I was a toddler all the way up until middle school, and then I realized that I had a different passion, and that was track and field, and I went to school for pole vaulting. And then, but my whole entire life growing up, I was always a tomboy, didn't care for makeup, clothing, none of that even interested me.
And now it's like your life.
And
you
now
go
I have
all these shoots, and
now I have to know about fashion. I actually have to know stuff, but it's funny because I still to this day will not, I don't really care for makeup or stuff like that. I mean, when it's applied on me for shoots and stuff, that's amazing. I love that. You just sit there and take it. But I mean, I would rather go out of the house wearing sweats and a hoodie and some jeans.
That's how I am too. If my makeup artist wasn't here, it wouldn't get done, believe me. And nobody wants to see this mug with nothing on it.
So I just don't, that's not me. I mean, for like stuff like this, of course I have to wear makeup and, do yourself up. But yeah, all my life I've always been a tomboy, and I've loved it because my whole family is that way. And none of my family is really like get up, get dressed and type of people.
So what is your family like, actually? Is anybody else, like mom or dad, involved in the spotlight, either in modeling or acting or anything?
No, like my dad is a horse trainer, and now he's the farm manager, and my mom's the vineyard manager of the vineyard that we live on. So
so did they ask you, where do you come from?
No. Well, I mean, it was definitely different for them. My mom used to take me to the city all the time for shoots and stuff, and just getting my name out there and whatnot. It got hard because being so young, you have to bring a parent guardian along. But she was always there for me no matter what. And my father was always there, but he was always working. But I always made sure I came home and showed him the pictures and everything. So, of course, get his approval and whatnot. But as soon as I hit 18, it was a lot easier. So I didn't have to wait like for mom to get out of work so I can go do what I have to do.
So you got your own car, you just go do your thing. So I know one of your biggest gigs that you got was when you were 15, which we'll get to a little while. But were you already working as a model as a younger child?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, like I said, I would say I was on like 3 different softball teams. We were doing travel league softball. We were doing everything, traveling up the island, different states and everything, just doing softball. That was my life, was softball.
So being that young, you never thought you would do anything like this?
No, not at all. Every sport that was out there that we were trying, like I would do field hockey, volleyball, basketball camps, like everything. I'd never thought. And then one time I was like, I love taking images. Like I love photographing things. So it's either be on this side of the camera or on the opposite side. And I love both. So once I got into my first modeling gig, that was a wrap. Like I just wanted to do it. So
what did you actually do first? Were you in front of the camera first or behind the camera?
Originally, I would say that I started taking pictures for fun at home, just for fun or whatever. I had a Polaroid that my grandmother gave me a long time ago that I loved. But then I got in front of the camera, and then after that, I just absolutely loved doing that stuff. So.
And let me just ask you, this might seem like an odd question, but did your grandma ever think that you were going to be a star one day?
She passed away when I was younger, but probably not. Like I said, we
Well,
were tomboys.
I ask
so.
is because, you know, there are so many grandmothers that have like a sixth sense about their grandkids, and they're always, you know, my grandmother
Well, she always
used to
said
tell
that
me all the
we'll
time.
be stars. Like, she always said that, well, my grandchildren be stars. So.
Yeah, that's
But
so interesting.
I don't think she expected this. I think she expected more of, like, athletic-wise. So.
And you are a graduate of Riverhead High School. You are a Blue Wave, fellow
2008.
Blue Wave in 2002. But, so that's great. Shout out to the Blue Waves. We have a couple that work on our staff here too, actually. That's great. So after high school, you moved on. You went up to St. Rose's, right, in Albany, and this is where you studied your broadcasting.
Yes.
When did you actually start getting more involved with the modeling?
I would say that, like I said, when I turned 18, it was a lot easier to do things on my own. I went to some acting and modeling academy for a while I was in high school. My mom would bring me back and forth. But I would say that my sophomore year in college, I was serious my freshman year, but you know, you're trying to adjust and get everything situated. And also, I was on a scholarship for track, so I had to do all those things at the same time. But
wow, so you had a lot going on.
Yeah, of course. So then sophomore year, I would say that I really took it more serious, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. So, and then after that, nothing was stopping me. I made sure that I stuck on top of everything that I need to. On top of, I was in the hospital most of the time for my whole college career. So I was in the hospital. I had 2 surgeries.
Oh, wow.
So I had my appendix and my gallbladder removed. And
oh, my goodness.
That put a hold on a lot of things. Like, I did fashion shows, and I did shoots in between my surgeries, which was kind of crazy because I had surgery one day, and then 2 days later, I was in a shoot.
Wow.
So. But it was worth it because now all of this is starting to pay off. So it definitely was worth it.
That's so interesting. So who inspired this talent? Like, who did you look up to growing up, either as a model or an actress, and strive to be like?
Well, that's the thing. Everybody always says that. Like, I'm not into the fashion industry like a lot of people. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I have favorite actors and actresses like Denzel Washington. I love. Like,
who doesn't?
Exactly. But I mean, as an inspiration, I mean, my family. That's my biggest thing. Like, my parents work really hard all the time, so that pushes me to want to work harder and harder.
And they're obviously very supportive of you.
Oh,
because
always.
Talking about mom dragging you around, or
Yeah.
you dragging mom around, I should say.
Now, yeah, definitely. So they're definitely my inspirations for sure.
Very cool. So this is kind of like a hidden talent that you just kind of stumbled upon and didn't know that you had it, kind of thing.
Not at all. Like I said, being a tomboy, I never would assume that I would do something like this. So
wow. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the shoots that you've been on, maybe some of the well-known photographers that you've worked with?
Well, I actually, last year I worked with a celebrity photographer to update my portfolio, which was amazing. His name is Jonah Vinci Divad. And he works with like Nick Cannon, Adrienne Bailon, all of them people. And then cool. I worked for, 15 years old. My first big gig was being a celebrity host for
and
BET
you got to talk
Pilot,
to Little Mama.
And I was Little Mama's host.
Wow.
So that was cool. And that
awesome.
was about a week before she got quote unquote famous, because then her lip gloss song came out a week later. So it was interesting. It was different because going into something and not knowing who she was, because she really wasn't anything, I guess you could say yet. Then a week later, that's the girl that I interviewed. So.
But just being 15 years old, I mean, that's got to be pretty amazing to do a pilot
exactly.
for BET. I mean, that's
oh yeah, network. I mean, I wasn't expecting it because most people assume that you need to know people to get places, but I swear, if you work hard by yourself and Google and do whatever you have to do to research and just network, it works. It definitely does.
And that's actually one thing about you, like what you do requires so much representation from well-known agents. You don't have an agent at all. You do your own legwork. So by you Googling, this is how you get into all of your
just
auditions
networking.
and things.
I mean, being on set with people, you find out so much information and different websites you can look up that maybe I never knew. I found 3 different websites that I never knew of, but just by asking people on set, and then after that, now that's where I'm getting all my gigs from. So, I mean, it definitely, it stinks because you kind of have to be by yourself, but at the same time, like, being by myself, it makes me want to work harder, because then I have to strive to be better because I don't have that other person trying to help me get gigs. So.
Right. So you've only been serious about building
I would say for the past 3 or 4 years, 4 or 5 years now.
Recent.
Yeah, it's recent, but I mean, within the past year and a half, it's gotten really intense. That's what I would say, intense.
That's
so.
great, though.
Yeah,
because I mean, so many people that are in this line of work, like they're seeking agents to do their legwork for them, but you've been doing it all on your own. When did you find the time?
Well, that's the thing. Like, between homework, Now it's like doing homework as if you were in
Yeah.
college. I just research all day long. When I get up, I'm automatically on my phone looking for stuff, and like sometimes my boyfriend gets aggravated 'cause I'm on my phone all the time. But I mean, like, it's just one of those things where if you don't continue to keep prospering to do it, then you'll just be left behind. Because as soon as
Exactly.
you don't, if I didn't get a casting the other day and I got really upset because I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't get any emails to my phone. But it was a Sunday, so you have to expect that it's not
Right,
going to
yeah,
be,
so
you
it's
know.
an off day. Well, you still
but-
got to take a day off.
Yeah, of course.
Give yourself some time.
But it's
And you
what
are
I
in a
wanna
brand new
do.
relationship. I heard you mention your boyfriend and everything. How long have you guys been
It'll
together?
be 4 years in January.
Wow, so it's not so new
No,
after all.
not at
Good
all.
for you.
No,
And he's
yeah.
very supportive of everything.
Always.
she's doing.
Everything I do, he was like, I knew you could have done it, that you didn't need good luck. So, yeah, he's always there for me. But,
That's awesome. Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
you. So you think this is the one?
oh, yeah,
You know
definitely.
everybody wants to know that answer that
Definitely.
question.
I mean, hey, I got a promise ring. So,
Oh, that's so great.
but yeah, no, it
Congratulations
definitely is.
to
Thank you.
Great
Thank
job. Good. So tell us about working with the film and the movies now, because you're also working on some films with
Well, now,
really
yeah,
big
now it's
names.
more acting, but it's not so much that I want to stop because my goal was to be a host on the red carpet. That's what
So
after
that's your
school.
overall.
That was
thing
my
you wanna do.
overall goal, but recently, for the past couple weeks, I've been thinking that I want to be the person that they're interviewing on the red carpet. So I've actually recently got to work with Martin Scorsese, which was humongous for me. And I mean, a lot of people, even after 20 years of acting, have never gotten to work with him. So that was an amazing experience. And I was a featured extra, so I got camera time, like very
Right.
good camera time, and we had conversations. Me and him had conversations. He came up to me, gave me a hug, and it like made my whole entire year. But yeah, he was definitely, that was an experience. But
Now, getting involved with the films, is it kind of like a stepping stone? Did you start off as just an extra, and then as
yeah,
you kept going on
it's
set?
like more of you have to start as a background. I mean, there's always like a starting point, and my starting point was, well, get into the background, start seeing what's like. I've been in studio before because of college, but never something like this. So I started off doing background. My first role was with Royal Pains, which came on 2 weeks ago, and I
Okay.
saw myself on television, so that was
How
cool.
what was that like? What is it like to see
It was
yourself?
so weird. I mean, I started screaming. Even though I didn't want to, I was like, no, it's nothing. I already know that I'm going to be right there. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh my God, that's really me, national television. So, and it was the
That
season
is great.
finale, and we didn't know it. So that was nice.
That's
But-
so amazing to see yourself. I mean, I've seen myself a few times, but overall, I don't watch my show.
Yeah.
And it's only because like I'm so critical. It's like I'll sit there and be like, don't do that, don't do that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I'm sure you do the same
Oh
thing.
yeah, I've learned to stop doing that because at first you want to just pick and pick and pick, but now I realize like I take it as a learning experience. Okay, I didn't do that right. That wasn't the right pose. Now I can do this, or I didn't like how I acted that way, and I can do this. It's just more of like a growing experience for
Yeah.
me. So.
Now with Royal Pains, is that something that's filmed in New York or LA? Because you spent some time
No,
in
it's
LA as
yes,
well.
I did, but it's actually filmed on Long Island.
Oh,
I
okay.
shot at Atlantic Beach, and then the next scene was in the Hamptons.
So it's pretty
but-
local.
Oh yeah,
It's
that
really
one's always local. Yeah.
So how long does it take to make an entire episode?
The episode that I was on, we only did one scene, and that one scene took 16 and a half hours.
Wow.
And we were there from 4 a.m., and then I didn't leave till late the
Oh my
following night.
goodness.
Yeah,
So when
it
do you
was,
sleep?
in my car during break for like 20 seconds? No,
I was going to say
no
the same
sleep.
thing. I usually rest my eyes at red lights.
Yeah, there's no sleep involved. But yeah, when I went to LA, I actually worked on a film with some Disney stars, and that was another amazing experience. I've never been to LA or on a plane
Wow.
before, so it was the whole experience in one. So
That's so cool. And you've worked with other really big names too. You're in the process of working with a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
yes, and that was The Wolf of Wall Street. That was the Martin Scorsese one. And I was just in Atlanta last week, and I worked for T.I.'s Aku clothing line. And I've worked with them for the NBA draft before, so now we're starting to build a relationship. So right now it's kind of in the works, but there might be something coming up in the future in the next month or two.
Very
So,
cool. And you worked with the amazing Kevin Costner as well.
oh my God, that was amazing.
Yes, let's talk about that
Yes.
because he's been one of my favorite actors for
Oh
a
my
very long time.
God, he was amazing. Oh my God, he's so sexy. And he came up to me and gave me a slap on the back. I was like, "You're doing a damn good job." I'm like, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you." But it was amazing. That was for the movie Jack Ryan, which is coming out December of 2013. Right now, they're shooting in Moscow, so they only shot in New York City for a weekend. So they only selected a certain amount of people for that, and
So
I
that's
got
the scenes that you're going to be featured in.
yes, exactly. I got selected to be a reporter, a journalist.
Oh, okay. So
There's
you're
only-
used to holding a mic here.
Yeah, so there's only three of us, three reporters, and then we have our own cameramen, and we're like, he's telling us to get away, and he's yelling at us, but that that was amazing because we didn't think that we were going to be able to work hands on hands with them because there was over 300 extras that day spread across
Wow.
Wall Street. So Kenneth Branagh, the director, came up to me, and that was unbelievable too. And then Kevin Costner and Chris Pines walked right near and had a conversation with us. So I mean, you get to meet a lot of these amazing people, and you would assume that they're the opposite of what you see on TV, but they're regular people. They're really cool. So.
It's pretty much how it is. Like I was at the Hamptons Film Festival over the weekend, and Brendan Fraser was there, and Stevie Nicks was there because she was promoting her documentary as well. And it's like, you know, they are very, very amazing artists.
Exactly.
But this is their job. It's what they chose to do, and so it's like you just treat them like regular people kind of thing.
And they treat you like regular people.
Exactly.
They're not rude. They're not disrespectful.
No.
They'll come
Some
up
of them
to you
are,
and,
though, but
oh
you
yeah,
know.
some of them. But I mean, once you realize that they're disrespectful or rude, then you just let it go. Like I worked with for Jennifer Hudson was on Smash, and I did Smash, and Smash was kind of like there was 450 of us, so nobody's really featured. It was a theater scene,
Right.
But there were some rude, disrespectful people on set, but you have to get over it. I mean, there's going to be some. They treat you as if you are below them, and that's how you're going to be.
Oh, it happens in the talk show business too.
Exactly. So you just don't, I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'm like, well, I'm still here, so I got to work, I got to work.
We still get our checks at the end of the
Exactly. So as long as I'm working, and I be respectful to everybody, because you don't ever want to burn bridges on set, because you never know who can help you. I mean, I got
Especially being so new, and I mean, you are still so new, but you're so very well accomplished at it for such a young age.
Thank you. I mean, you always want those recommendations. I got a recommendation email last week for being on the Martin Scorsese film, and then the new show Infamous with Megan Good. They actually emailed me and was like, we would love to have you on set because we heard that you did such a good job on the Martin Scorsese film. So I mean, you never want to act a fool, I guess, on set. You always want to be respectful no matter how much they treat you like crap. So.
Right. And you've also had the privilege of working with Jonah Hill as well.
He was too funny. And yeah, him and Leonardo DiCaprio were hilarious. I mean, the film looks like it's going to be good. I've never read the book before, and apparently the book is really well too. So, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a good film. I mean, they were hilarious. We only shot, I mean, I got asked to come back 2 extra days, and I was only supposed to be on set for 1 day, and I came back for 4 days. So
what was your role in the film?
I was a featured bikini girl. So walking around, I didn't wear a bikini. I wore high-waisted shorts. It was 1992 we had to portray. So everybody's big hair.
Very cool.
And,
the big hair, the older cars. That must have been
yes.
fun, though.
It was a lot of fun. It was kind of crazy looking at like the people that were on set, and then looking at my mom's old photos. Like, oh, that was you. But no, it was a really fun set. That set was so much fun. It was just we were on set for, I would say, 12 to 15 hours each day.
Wow.
Each day, yeah.
So it really is exhausting, I'm sure. But it's like you must just
worth
have that.
It,
yeah,
it
you must
really
have the adrenaline to keep you going with it.
I mean, it can at times. Like if you're Smash, we sat in holding for like 7 hours after lunch, and holding for 7 hours with 400 people is like, oh my goodness. But I mean, at the end, I always think of it as, okay, well, on to the next one. It's a learning experience. Now you know what to bring, what not to bring to sets, to keep you occupied.
It gets easier as time goes on.
Exactly. Now it's like a habit. So
it's a way of life now. It's just something that we do.
Exactly.
So what was it like to first walk onto your very first movie set and be like, this is where I'm working today?
I mean, Royal Pains was okay. Like the episodes are smaller, but like the movie sets, it's smaller amount of cast members, but the crew is humongous. Where you're shooting, we were shooting in Exit 36, Port Washington, Long Island, and it was humongous houses, mansions that we were shooting in, and it was like, oh my goodness, I've seen this before. The best thing was the flying camera. I've never seen anybody, and even the actor, like Leonardo DiCaprio, was like, oh my God, that's a camera, and it was like in a huge airplane hovering over us. So
wow, that's amazing.
I've
never even seen anything like that.
A lot of them haven't, and Martin came out. He was like, bet you guys never seen this before. So it was cool. I mean, it was definitely an experience, but that's one of the biggest things right now for me. I loved it.
That's awesome. So what do you think is like the most favorite thing that you've done so far in this line of work?
Besides the Martin Scorsese, I can't even say, because LA is a big hit for me right now. LA, it's between LA, Atlanta, and the Martin Scorsese, because I've never been to Atlanta before. That would be only my second time on a plane, and I got to meet every rap artist, every Grammy Award artist, like Danny Kane's, D. Wood. Nelly, Funkmaster Flex, T.I. worked hand in hand with T.I.'s family and everything.
And were any of those like your favorites that you maybe listened to or seen growing up?
My favorite was Demetria from House of Pains and Meet the Browns, and I met their whole cast, and that was amazing. I never thought that would happen. Terry Vaughn, oh my goodness. But it was between that and LA, meeting like Selena Gomez and being right next to her because we were on set with her. So I mean, I've done a lot of cool things. I think the biggest thing right now that's really got me excited is that I'm SAG eligible to be an actor, and I've known people on set that have been SAG eligible for like 20 years, or they can't get that last voucher, and I already got 4 in one weekend. So that thing is, that's like going through my head right now. Like I have to keep striving because right there it tells me that I'm doing something right. So. Right.
So have you ever looked like deep inside of yourself and asked, you know, what do you personally think about everything that you've accomplished? I mean,
I did that last week because I actually had time to myself, and I put everything away, no castings, no nothing, put the iPad, iPhone, Mac down. And
isn't it hard sometimes?
Yeah, but I did it because I was getting tired. I was just like, I need to, my eyes are hurting. I was like, I need to just relax and not dream. But I'm proud of myself. I mean,
you should be.
I definitely came a long way, but definitely not where I want to be yet. So it's a
where
little
do
bit
you
further.
see yourself in maybe 10 years from now? I mean, do you?
I got asked that question like 2 weeks ago. I can't say 10 years. I mean, I take every day by every day. I can't say year by year because everything changes for me. I got callbacks when I was on my way here. I have a shoot to go to. I have a movie to go to tomorrow. So,
wow, so you're gonna be busy.
I mean, I'm playing one of Vince Vaughn's biological kids tomorrow for 8-day shoot. So that was huge for me too. So I mean, I take it day by day. I get different castings coming in each day, and it's a different experience each day. So I can't say 10 years from now, hopefully financially successful, I'll be able to just go on a nice cruise and do whatever I want, give my parents some money. And,
Very cool. So even though your lifestyle is so busy, and everybody who knows, you know, actresses and actors, that you're just constantly on the go, but you're also very family oriented. How do you fit everything into your life? Like, what's the secret to success like this?
Patience.
For you, anyway.
Patience. Patience, because my brother is currently he's going to be going into the Marines. My sister just went to UConn for a full ride. She's training for the Olympics. My niece is here at me today, and she's going off to school soon in January. It's like, and my other sister is home. Like, it's like always family oriented. That's how we grew up together. So it's just patience. We all try to talk to each other. I mean, now that everybody's getting older, it's a lot easier to talk to each other about things. It used to be just arguments and bickering. Now it's like we all went on our separate ways. We all can get away from each other when we know it's getting tense and come back. So it's a stress reliever because when you're at school that far away, it's like I can come here and stay on my farm and not have to be bothered to anybody. So
now, are you still currently in school?
No.
Oh,
no,
so you're all done.
I graduated, so I'm done. So now I live up there with my boyfriend, and then I travel back and forth, and I live here with my family. When I'm castings and doing stuff in the city, I'll stay here, and then when I'm not, I'll go back up. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. So you have an apartment up in Albany where you live?
Yeah, well, we just moved up a little bit north, but it's in the capital region, so.
Now, I know it's like so like deserted out there. Almost. Like, how long does it take you to get to the store for like a loaf of bread?
No, I mean, Albany is the capital, so it's all the state buildings.
Oh, so it's okay.
It's more city. Like where we just moved up north more, we're near where all the shopping centers and everything is. So it's beautiful up there because when I was younger, my dad's a horse trainer, so we used to be in Saratoga all the time, and now we moved close to Saratoga, so it's beautiful up there.
And it must be nice at this time, you know, with the leaves changing.
Oh yeah, it's like more farm, like I guess you could say. So it reminds me of home.
I love that scenery. That's so cool. So what can your fans expect to see from you in the near future? I mean, what do you have coming up in the next year? I know the one movie's coming out in December 2013.
And then I have the other movie from LA should be coming out next year. And then this movie that I'm shooting tomorrow should be coming out, I want to say 2014. They won't tell us anything yet.
Okay. Can you tell us about your role in it?
I'm just playing a biological daughter of Vince Vaughn. He's trying to figure out, he was a sperm donor, so he's trying to figure out who his kids are now. So I get to play that, which is a highly featured role apparently. Wow. So we'll find out everything later on actually tonight. But
what are some of your own favorite movies? Like what being an actress now, I mean, what would you strive to be, or who would you like to be, or be part of, you know, films that you've always enjoyed?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've always wanted to meet Tyler Perry, but I mean, I love his films, don't get me wrong, but I love diversity. So I want a whole different, I want I love comedy. I'm not a horror person
Really?
at
See,
all.
I am. I want to be in a horror movie.
Oh my God,
Just
no.
to see how they do all that, the makeup and everything.
I mean, I applied for a lot of zombie-like stuff that's coming up in the Walking Dead episodes, so I applied for that because I want to see
that started yesterday.
I know, and I just finished the second season.
I was right in front of the TV.
But I mean, I don't. I love diversity, so I'm willing to do lots. I mean, I applied for The Hangover, the sequel. I mean, not to give away any spoilers, but yeah, it's coming out, so I applied for that. But I'm mostly comedy. I really want to be in comedy. So this one tomorrow is supposed to be comedy. So we'll see how that goes on. But in the future, I mean, I want to be in films. I want to be on, my biggest thing, I want to be on magazine covers and stuff. So, I mean, or be in a magazine and then work my way up. So we'll see.
So you really enjoy the whole modeling side of it
I love being able to go back and forth, to be an extra, to do a shoot. Like I'm going to a shoot now and then to be an extra tomorrow. And then I like to do all of it. So.
And you still love your red carpet. You still want to hold the mic and interview
I mean, if I can
celebrities
I can host. I mean, we did it for school last year. I was the host in studio live session we did for a big rock band thing, and that was so much fun. That was my first time actually doing a live stream and everything, so it was amazing. But I love anything about the industry part. I would love to do all of this, like dip into all of it. But
excellent. Now, when you do your interviews, do you keep like notes, or you just kind of keep a mental thing of
I had notes. I
have my notes on you too. These are it, but for the most part, I've just been doing it off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, I started with notes, and my teacher was like, oh, you're going to start with notes, but guess what? He was like, you're just going to have to improv after that. And once I got to my notes, it really didn't make sense because the people coming in that I was interviewing, I didn't know much about them, so I had to just ask them questions based off what they were telling me. So after a while, I just started, it was more relaxing. At first, I was kind of uptight, but it was more relaxing. So.
It comes with experience. That's what everybody tells me.
I bet.
8 months into doing this, I mean, I really haven't even looked at these numbers.
It's fine. I understand.
So that's great. Well, how are we doing on time? I think we're getting pretty close to close. So, Heather, I want to say thank you for making the time for us today. Good luck on your shoot today and your movie tomorrow, and we will be on the lookout for you.
Thank you.
Be sure to visit Heather's website. We'll put up the graphic for you. It's www.heatherlriley.com. Check out her whereabouts, where she's going to be, and all about her. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, if you have a talent as well, give us a call at 631-574-9678. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
That was mad greasy.